lesson I'm going to be teaching you how to strum with the fingers, strum the guitar with the fingers. I mean, you'll see a lot of people, they will use a pick, using up and down alternation on the strings, but I think also you can just as easily strum with the fingers as well. So first things first, getting in position, resting. Now, basically, yeah, I would say that the best finger to strum the strings, if we're only going to be using one right hand finger, would be the index finger. I think, yeah, that would be the most suitable finger. Again, you can use different fingers, but I mean, if you're just starting out, let's just focus on the index finger. So, putting down any chord that you've learned so far, so let's just do an E minor chord. What I want you to do is strum crotchets. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Just using the back nail, following through, making sure that we hear all 6 strings, just following through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now again, usually if we're doing that slow rhythm, we would only just alternate with, we would just use the same directive stroke. So in this case, downstroke. However, if we're in an instance where we're doing a short rhythmic pattern of something like crotchet, quaver to crotchet, we would maybe alternate. Alternating would be the best solution to play those quavers. So we usually alternate when we strum when the rhythm is quicker. So. And I mean, when you do strum like a chord progression, we've got to, it's usually just a small rhythmic phrase repeated for different chords. Okay, so that one was just a crotchet, quaver, quavers, 2 quavers and a crotchet, and then repeat it again. So crotchet, quaver, quaver, crotchet, crotchet, quaver, quaver, crotchet. 1, 2, and 3. So you can see there that yeah, using the basic strumming pattern with different 3 chords, you can play chord progression there. Okay, so when we do strum, we want to make sure that these fingers are out of the way. So we try and extend them out, and it's just the index fingers that's sort of in action. Okay. Again, understanding rhythm is a very key, thing in playing music, and if you haven't already become familiar with how rhythm works, I suggest reading material or watching videos around that, music theory and rhythm, to help you, understand how little rhythmic phrases are used. I mean, another common rhythmic phrase for strumming is adding the sort of a dotted rhythm. So adding, and if you're not familiar with how the dot works, I suggest reading around that too. So once you do that, a good exercise to strengthen your strumming technique is playing in 3s, accenting on the downstroke, and then on the next set of 3, accenting on the upstroke. So it would look like this. 1, 2, 3. Now the key thing is, when we're doing that, we don't want to be doing this. rocking the hand backwards and forwards, so like that type of thing. We want to keep the hand as steady as possible, and the hand, the finger itself, should just flick out. So it should be all just the finger, trying to keep the hand, the right hand, as steady as possible. Now again, you can use that technique, or that rhythm, sorry, for the middle finger. Again, keeping the fingers out. And then again for the ring finger. You can do it for the thumb as well, but it's a lot more awkward to strum with the thumb like that, with the fingers out. I would suggest trying to improve your finger isolation, but the key thing is making sure the wrist is straight with the right hand and the hand doesn't move at all. It's all in the fingers. There can be some slight movement, of course, some to assist the fingers a little bit better, but as long as it's not exerted too much, so your hand, to the point where your hand is out of position. From there, I mean, this is sort of where the beginnings of sort of how we play rasguado, the Spanish sort of strumming, where they use like different directive strokes, incorporate all fingers to play like that type of rolling action. So I mean, if you did want to practice that again with different chords, it's a common one is with the whole roll of all four fingers, up with the thumb, and then the hand at this point coming up with the thumb, your fingers should be in a ball, and then one by one they should flick out. Now, and at that point your hand should be, all your fingers should be like that, and then you could come down with your thumb in a directive downward stroke. So, or you could just repeat that four pattern. And that makes the strumming more exciting, things like that, you know, I suppose. So that's something to think about there. Again, you could, you know, isolate parts, strings within the chord as well. So you can just play the top three. 1, 2, 3. And then you could add in all 6 and then back to 3. So to create that style, that effect. That should be it for about strumming. So, I mean, I'll put some variations, some rhythmic variations of strumming patterns in the description video, and try and build your chord repertoire. You should have some basic knowledge of chords already, and again, practicing some chord strumming patterns with a chord progression.